The betrayal of Kwame and Jabari. The beginning of a brotherhood. In the prosperous village of Nyanda, two boys, Kwame and Jabari, grew up as brothers. Though not related by blood, they were inseparable. Kwame, the chief's son, was wise and kind, while Jabari, the son of a humble farmer, was ambitious and cunning. The village elders often spoke of how Kwame would make a great leader one day, and Jabari secretly burned with envy. They spent their days playing in the vast fields, racing through the forest, and learning from the elders. Kwame often accompanied his father to council meetings, listening attentively as the chief made decisions for the good of the people. Jabari, on the other hand, worked in the fields with his father, toiling under the sun, his hands callous from labor. Despite their differences, their bond was strong. One rainy afternoon, they found a wounded hawk trapped in the roots of an old tree. Kwame, with gentle hands, nursed it back to health, while Jabari grew impatient, wanting to see it fly again. "You must give it time to heal," Kwame told him. The hawk eventually took flight, but Jabari could not shake the feeling that patience was a virtue meant for others, not for him. Kwame's family was well respected. His father, Chief Boko, was a wise ruler, known for his fairness and strength. His mother, Queen Amma, was beloved by the villagers, often tending to the sick and teaching the children. Their home was a place of learning, where visitors from distant lands came to share knowledge. Kwame learned diplomacy and compassion at his parents' side. Jabari's family, in contrast, lived modestly but with great pride. His father, Ose, was a hard-working farmer, rising with the sun and toiling in the fields. His mother, Nia, wove intricate baskets that were sought after in the village market. They valued hard work above all else, but Jabari often resented their struggles, believing he was destined for more. At night, they sat by the village fire, listening to tales of great warriors and wise rulers. Kwame absorbed the lessons of justice and honor, while Jabari imagined himself in a position of power, longing for the respect that seemed to come effortlessly to Kwame. A dark desire. As they grew older, Jabari's jealousy turned into an insatiable hunger for power. He longed for the respect and privilege that came effortlessly to Kwame. One evening, an old sorcerer visited the village, his eyes gleaming with dark knowledge. He whispered to Jabari, "Betray your brother, and I will grant you a kingdom of your own." Jabari hesitated, the weight of his conscience battling against his ambition. But his heart had already been poisoned. That night, as he lay awake, his mind churned with treacherous thoughts. He devised a plan to turn the village against Kwame, knowing that without the people's trust, Kwame would have nothing. The betrayal. On the night of the harvest festival, when the village was filled with joy, Jabari acted. He sneaked into the village's grain store and set it ablaze. The fire roared into the sky, consuming the season's bounty. As the villagers awoke in panic, Jabari ran through the streets, crying out, "Kwame did this. He wants to rule over us with hunger, so we remain weak." The villagers, blinded by fear and grief, turned against Kwame. Even the chief, heartbroken and betrayed, saw no choice but to banish his own son. Kwame stood before his father, pleading his innocence, but the weight of the people's accusations was too great. With nothing but the clothes on his back, he was cast out of Nyanda. The price of greed. Jabari expected to be named the next chief, to be draped in fine robes and seated on the village's throne. But instead, whispers of doubt crept through the people. A village built on trust had been shattered by suspicion, and the fear Jabari had sown took root. The villagers no longer looked at him with admiration but with unease. Then, the sorcerer returned, laughing. "You desired a kingdom, and I shall grant it." With a wave of his staff, the earth trembled. Cracks spread across the land, swallowing homes and fields. The sky darkened, and the river that once nourished Nyanda ran dry. Within days, the village was no more, only barren wasteland remained. Jabari, who had longed for power, found himself alone in a ruined kingdom of ashes, with no people left to rule. The rise of the forgotten prince. Meanwhile, Kwame wandered for years, seeking wisdom from travelers, elders, and warriors. He trained in the art of leadership and battle, but more importantly, he learned the power of resilience, compassion, and justice. His journey was not easy. He spent nights sleeping under the stars, his stomach aching with hunger. He worked as a fisherman's apprentice, mended roofs in exchange for food, and shared stories with nomads around their fires. Through these experiences, he came to understand the struggles of the common people and how true leadership meant serving others, not ruling over them. He came upon a struggling village on the edge of a great river, where the people were weary and leaderless. Drawing upon all he had learned, he helped rebuild their homes, taught them to farm wisely, and ruled with fairness. His reputation spread far and wide, and soon, survivors from Nyanda arrived, seeking refuge. One fateful day, a ragged and starving man stumbled to Kwame's gates, Jabari. His once proud posture was bent, his eyes hollow with despair. He fell to his knees before Kwame and wept. "I was blinded by greed, and now I have nothing. Please, have mercy." Kwame looked at the man who had once been his closest brother and greatest betrayer. The weight of vengeance could have been his, but he had learned a greater truth. "A true leader seeks justice, not revenge," he said. He allowed Jabari to stay within the village, but he never granted him power again. Instead, Jabari was given the humblest of tasks, serving the people he had once sought to control. He spent his days carrying water from the river, tending to the sick, and building homes for others, learning through labor the value of true leadership. Moral of the story: greed and envy can destroy everything, but true strength comes from wisdom and forgiveness. Kwame rose from betrayal, not through vengeance, but through the power of justice and compassion. Jabari, once consumed by ambition, learned that a kingdom built on lies is destined to crumble, and that true honor is earned through service, not deceit. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, please give it a like and subscribe.